Blessed afternoon, collective. This is probably gonna be mostly self-expression. Not that it matters. It's all self-expression. It's all any of this fucking is. I may or may not pull cards, but something is hitting. Something is happening. In ego, in collective, masculine energy, ego energy, that I want to just be present with. It's a mass questioning. It's a big seething pool of doubt. And Mercury, I don't know what time it moves or moved into Virgo. It's different depending on where you are, but that energy is very present and significant. I don't know if there's another aspect happening. There might be a square, or we might be in between. There are those 3 squares between the North Node in Aries and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and that dramatically intensifies and pressurizes all the surrounding energies. It's frustration and panic. It's a frustrated panic. It's all over the place. It was feeling like a desperation to understand, demanding an explanation. Why? Demanding justification. Wanting to make sense of something that isn't there to be made sense of. It just is. There's nothing to understand there. It just is what it is. The seething, the writhing against, the demand for explanation is resistance to it. And my part in this moment in that is feeling this sensation and not asking for an explanation, not demanding that it justify itself, that it give me a reason. It showed up. It showed up. It's here. It is a part of my present experience. And so now my role is to honor it with awareness, with presence, without questioning, without judging, without calling it wrong. Simply being present with it and choosing to do so despite the internal sensation, the internal drive to run from it, because I can feel that as well. If it can't understand, it wants to just run. It wants to distract. It wants to do something else. It wants to fill this with something else. And at the same time, it's judging itself for that. I can feel it right here, right. It's in the solar plexus, but it's a little bit lower too. And it's a surge of static electricity, kind of a sensation, almost like an electrode attached there. And I can feel it's a little hot outside, so it's no surprise I'm a little bit sweaty, but it feels like a cold sweat. I can feel that hot goosebump sensation. The feeling sort of panic, of fear, of run away, make it stop, that kind of thing. And so I'm just breathing into that. And the questions are swirling. Ego is there making all kinds of demands. Why this? Why are you doing this? What is the point in this? There doesn't need to be a point. That can be the point. The point is, it is. And we are demonstrating to ourselves deliberate acceptance of what is. because that is a desire, because that feels good. That's it. That is it. That's the whole point and the whole purpose. And I can feel ego finding insufficiency in that. Again, demanding more. And that's okay too. I can feel it in my feet. There's this tingling. On the flip side of it, there's an excitement, actually. And I can feel that too. There's an excitement there. If the resistance were just released, it would be a go for it. If the questioning, if the demanding of an explanation, and then the doubting of the feeling of, well, this feels right, but why? Therefore, it becomes a doubt. I don't trust it, is the feeling. I need a reason for it to feel right, to feel safe. There's no reason. Not that mind can make sense of. It just is. It's intense. I can feel it all the way up and down the spinal column as well. It literally head to toe. And it's just this rapid fluctuation. There's a strong desire. There is a strong desire. There is something that is really wanted. There is a truth that is clear. And perhaps an action or an expression on the heels of that, even if it's an internal expression that wants to come out. And then there's the second guessing of it, the doubting of it, the doubting of the rightness of it, because it needs a reason. It can't just be, says ego, says the mind. Everything that is, just is. It is for the delight of itself. It bees because it bees. Everything that is, all that surrounds us, exists for no purpose other than the joy of existence, of experiencing being itself, self-knowing self, and delighting in the pleasure of that. And it is a pleasure. You could say that is the reason, because there is desire. What is the purpose of this? Desire. A good feeling. Basking in that good feeling and knowing one is worthy, not just of feeling that desire, but feeling the satisfaction of the fulfillment of it. That is deserved, that is promised, that is appropriate, that is correct, that is allowed, that is desired simultaneously by all of the universe. All of the universe is thrilling in your desire and excited for your reception of it. And the questioning doesn't change that. It doesn't stop it. The tension of the questioning reveals the truth of the desire. When the questioning of the desire feels bad, it just points to the truth of the desire. And it doesn't need any further reason for itself. It's just swirling. It's that Two of Pentacles. It's Seven of Cups. It's 9 swords. I am going to pull some cards and just see if there is any further clarity there, if there is a way to assist in the expression of this and all of it, because I desire to. That's it. No other reason. No other reason. There is not some message here other than the telling of what is at the present moment and the articulation of the embracing of that expression. Knight of Cups, there is emotion. It is emotion. It's desire that wants to come out. That wants to come out. Just hearing why. It's just the resistance of the desire that creates this tension, this discomfort. It's not the desire itself, it's the resistance to it. And there's an over-identification, an over-complication, again, of the desire itself. What's underneath that? Look at that. I don't know how this happened, but it's the Magician reversed. Wanting something and pushing it away at the same time. Something trying to come in, something trying to happen, and just saying no, rejecting it so violently, so vehemently. Wow. This reminds me when I was a teenager. I was diagnosed at the time and re-diagnosed numerous times with severe obsessive compulsive disorder, which I no longer identify with. After the accident, I forgot I had it and made a conscious decision not to return to that place. But this is that feeling of tremendous anxiety, and a lot of it was based around, well, it was all self-judgment, it was all self-shame. There's tremendous shame here for this desire. It's a rejection of a desire as somehow inappropriate. No specifics, this is just whatever pure energy is coming through. And it is something that I have personal experience with. One of the primary obsessions, focuses, was my sexuality. And desire became wrapped up with anxiety itself. I was so ashamed of desire, and that judgment, that self-judgment and repression of it came so quickly on the heels of it that I, for a significant period, could not tell them apart. All my desire was clouded in anxiety, wrapped in, wreathed in, cloaked in, because it was so immediately, automatically rejected. And this feels very similar. It feels very similar in sensation to that. 5 of Cups. It hurts. It hurts, this self-judgment. There's a disappointment in self for this desire. Source is not judging any desire. It's allowed. It's appropriate. You were born of desire. You exist because of desire. Pure desire. The desire to feel desire, which is a pleasurable sensation. Doesn't have to mean all of these things that you perhaps think it means. It's just energy. It still feels tight. There's that Seven of Cups. Overwhelming confusion. Confusion about this. I feel disappointed about not having this or not going towards this, but I also feel disappointed about wanting to have this and to go towards this. So much overthinking, over analyzing. Virgo energy will do that. What else do we have? Justice, Ten of Cups, Judgment, Eight of Wands. It needs to break. It needs to break. It's trying to resolve. It is not about what we do. There is never a right or wrong action. It's just feel into the path of least resistance. Identify, determine, flow some energy down this path and feel how it feels. How does it feel? Does it feel good but scary? Maybe you can't quite tell. Maybe it just feels like tension. Okay, let the tension be there and feel into the tension. What is the nature of that tension? Is it fear? What is it fear of? Fear of judgment? Fear of failure? It's primarily fear of judgment. There is no judgment. Judgment is entirely ego-based, so now you can know both the fear of judgment and any judgment itself belongs only to ego, and therefore not you, and can be removed from, can be disregarded, essentially. There is no judgment. There is no wrong path. So feel around the fear. What's on the other side of the fear? Is it excitement? Is it strong desire? Is it, not actually all that interesting? It can be either. What's on the other side of the fear? Is it a hell yes or a maybe? If it's a hell yes, then there's your answer. If it's a maybe, well, there's your answer too. You can feel relaxed. You can feel there's not this pressure to move towards this thing. But it feels like there's a hell yes in there as well. This is a grouping of energy. Actually starting to get a headache. Wow. It's not one answer because there are many things in play here. But if it's a maybe, then it doesn't matter if you do it or not. The point is, it's no threat either way. Do it or don't. Can't get it wrong. There's no threat. There's nothing to lose. Nothing changes if you do it. Nothing changes if you don't. Your being is stable. This action, which is an action in form, it's an act of doing, doesn't change anything about your being. Your being remains stable. Your being remains well. It remains secure and abundant, regardless of what action is taken or not taken. It's really not relevant, ultimately. So pick the best feeling thing and stick with that. And then feel satisfied that you made a decision. That's it. I guess I am gonna pull some cards. Golly. Yeah, I started to get a headache. Little bit dizzy. There's a pain behind the eyes, specifically right here. Interesting. Still asking for a reason. Let's just express this. What can the universe help us say here? In the witnessing of and holding space for this energy moving through. Just let it go. Just let it happen. Let it be. Yeah. Queen of Wands, drop the guard. There's attraction here. Yeah. The attraction, it makes sense at a deep level. It doesn't make sense at a surface level. And that is driving somebody insane. And there's the rejection. The rejection of it. But this is all I know. This holding back, this pretending, this fitting a box, checking a box. This doesn't fit with my understanding of what feels good. But it feels good. The energy has moved already. It's trying to resolve. This is trying to resolve. Yeah, there's that Seven of Swords. If you keep looking at it, there's something there. Just admit to there being something there. It doesn't have to mean anything. It's just something. It's just desire. It's just attraction. It's just what is a part of this moment. I am reminded of Abraham Hicks. I can't even. Abraham. Now I'm hearing Abraham with an accent. Abraham Hicks saying, "We would love it if your marriage vows to one another were, I like you pretty well, let's see how this goes." That sort of thing, of not making such a big deal out of this. Let it be what it is for the moment. And let that be the moment. And if there end up being more moments, then there end up being more moments, and that'll feel right and make sense. And if this ends up being the only moment, then this is the only moment of this, and be there for that and experience that. Yeah, I jive with that. I get that. And I'm not gonna shuffle anymore. That's it. Four of Wands. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. What is? I know it's Grease. And isn't that kind of when they're like feeling each other out and going, "Why do I like this greaser, this poodle skirt girl?" Interesting. I feel like this is the build-up. This is maybe overthinking, but there's more to it. There's something interesting about that card. What's the Queen of Wands crossing? Six of Cups. There's a deep feeling. It is a little bit of nostalgia you can't place. It's like, why does this feel so familiar? And it feels good, but I don't understand it. It's like I have a feeling memory, but not a thought memory. And that's confusing. But it feels really nice. It feels, actually at the core, it feels very innocent and pure. Again, it's not this big thing. It's only ego that judges or shames. It's deep. It is a sort of questioning of the depth of this emotion. Why is it so deep? Or why is it so strong? It's like it's just there. It's just energy. There is a past life connection in some level. And again, it doesn't mean anything. There's this little hook of like, does it mean this has to be a certain way? Like it has to be long term, or it has to look a certain way? No. Again, it doesn't have to mean anything. It's just there. This is really more about acknowledging something being there. You don't have to take action on it. You don't have to do anything. That's the whole thing with the runner energy. They just never acknowledged the power of the feelings being there. It was never about two physical people having to be together. That's not what the universe is trying to do. There are not any two people that have to be together. And that was never the point. The point was just to acknowledge that the attraction was there, to acknowledge that the feelings were there, to open up on that level, to open up to those sorts of feelings, to that deep soul level of connection. That's it. It was never about, you are destined to be together in this lifetime. No. You're not necessarily. That's a choice. That is a choice you get to make. The lesson is just in opening up to the feeling itself and acknowledging that that's possible, that this desire is possible and allowed and not inappropriate, to release that shame and that self-judgment. And then whatever we move into from there, that's unknown. The universe doesn't care. It leaves that totally open. All those doors are open. We get to choose which one we walk through. And the universe has a path prepared on the other side of every single one of them. It's balancing the energy either way. It doesn't matter what you choose. It's something about being vulnerable, opening up to a depth of emotion, and honoring desire, appreciating desire, allowing it to be there, not being afraid of it. Okay, what's with the Four of Wands? Yep. Come on, it's the Emperor. Well, I was talking about the runner energy. That wasn't really my intention. But it's a part of what's here. And the runner energy is the runner energy because it is consumed with ego, because it's very self-judgmental. There's a lot of shame to it. It's a lot of trying to shut down emotion, to shut down feelings, because feeling has been deemed inappropriate, at least certain feelings. But when you shut down any feeling, you shut down all of them. There is this fear of loss of stability, again, of what does this mean? This is, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Fuck. The energy just got so heavy and just scattered. It's very scattered. It's that resistance. And all I can do is attempt not to resist it. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else here. I do have someone say, does this mean I have to leave so and so? That's a different decision. As I'm saying that, the Ace of Swords drops out. Just clarifying the Emperor here. Okay, fuck. Why is the Emperor here? I can't make this shit up. And I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this, but this is what's here. Why is the Emperor here? Because there's a truth. As I'm saying, does this mean I have to leave so-and-so? Why is the Emperor here? Because the Empress. I'm going to say yes. It doesn't mean, what it doesn't mean is someone having to go be in a relationship with the Empress. That's another level. That's a different component that is not a part of the purpose of this. But it is getting someone to admit to this desire is real. And what that means is, whether or not you go towards the desire, that's up to you. But it means you walk away from the stuff that's not it. You have clarity now about what that is. I am trying not to read this as breakup or divorce energy because of the realization of attraction, of Empress level attraction to someone else, but it's just fucking here. Fine. What else? Three of Pentacles. Walking away. I just, to me, a lot of times it's the crumbling of one foundation to move towards the building of another. Again, the specifics of that new foundation are undefined. It's undetermined. But yes, the point is leave. Is there any other way I can even feel this? It doesn't have to be a marriage, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It's something that represented stability. It can be a job, it can be familial bonds, family ties, expectations of others, even just a way of being. It can be all of those things. But there's a realization here that we're not satisfied with that. We want something else. There's been a repression of that desire because it was deemed inappropriate. But we can't push the desire away. The desire is there and it's only getting stronger. And the rejection of the desire, the resistance to the desire, has put us in a state of extreme tension where something has got to give and the desire is not going to give. You cannot rid yourself of a desire. It doesn't work that way. You don't necessarily have to take action specifically towards the desire, but what the desire represents and what it has shown you, that energy needs to come to balance. That needs to find a resolve. There will be tension there until the desire itself is accepted and some sort some sort of change is made. Some sort of change. The truth has to be expressed. Even if it's just internally, it must be admitted to. There must be a change of behavior. There must be a change of perspective moving forward. Yeah. There's a lesson happening. That's the karma. That's what needs to resolve. I did feel karma with that magician as well. And karma is just imbalanced energy. Sometimes we carry that imbalanced energy with us from past incarnations. And so we have further experiences in this lifetime. The universe brings us opportunities to resolve that energy by presenting us with very similar energetically situations. It is at the core the energy of releasing shame, admitting to a desire, and moving forward from the place of honoring that desire. That's it. All of the detail, everything else is left open, but we honor that desire exists. When there is a strong... God, the headache has moved. There's a strong push to leave something behind, to leave behind a way of being, to leave behind some sort of connection that we felt tied to, that was tied to our stability, to move forward in a new way. And I am reminded of, so when I did finally accept in myself that I liked girls, I was dating a guy, and I felt terrible, and I fought it tooth and nail, because here I was dating this guy. And admitting, first of all, just admitting to myself that I even liked women, had an attraction to them, was rough, because there was so much shame around that and such a deep rejection of that as potentially being a part of myself, because I was so self-identified with this previous version, right? With this identity, this personality, this whatever. And then there was, well, I'm in a relationship with this guy, and I really am more interested in girls. He was not a bad guy, and I'm capable of attraction to guys and experience there. It was just, and continues to be, that, yeah, that's there. I can be attracted to a guy. There can be a connection. I can have a good time. But there's still this pull that is stronger towards women. And I had to admit to that and break up with him so that I could pursue the desire. Because I couldn't take being in that relationship knowing what I knew. And I tried not to know it for a long time, but I couldn't not know it. I couldn't fight the feeling, because it was there. And when you have a desire, it doesn't go anywhere. You can't just get rid of that desire. You can bury it, you can repress it, it's still there. And until you at least admit to it, you're gonna feel the tension of that lack of resolve. For me, it wasn't enough to just admit to having an attraction to women, because on top of the attraction to women, there was a strong desire to date a woman, to be with a woman, and connected to that really was a desire to no longer be dating this guy. So if it, it doesn't have to play out one way. It could just be the acceptance of, okay, I have these feelings, and that's okay. They're allowed to be there. For me, there was more to it than that. And so my course of action was to leave that behind, to leave behind the perceived stability of a relationship and of a previous identity, to accept, to be open to experiencing what I desired to experience. Okay, I'm gonna pull on this Four of Wands. Tell me about the Four of Wands here. Tell me about the Four of Wands. But why is the Emperor here? Because the Empress. That's pretty powerful. Because it's attracted, and that is an attraction you can't hide. You can't deny, you can't run from. Why is this Four of Wands here? What is this? Tell me about it. Something that felt safe, something that felt easy. Okay. Well, it's not it. Something that felt safe, something that was easy. It's low-hanging fruit. What's at the bottom? It's 10 Pentacles. A life. It's a life. It's the life that looked good on paper, that made sense on paper. It's the white picket fence, it's the trophy husband, wife, it's the kids in private school and whatever life in suburbia. And it's not it. It was, I thought I would be happy if I checked all these boxes. Now I have this feeling, this attraction to something else, some other way of being that doesn't check any of those boxes. Why do I want it so much? Because you're not made to fit in a box. Your soul, your being, does not fit in a container. It wants what it wants because it wants it. That's it. That is the reason for all of this. Source isn't trying to achieve something, some other goal. It has no ulterior motive. It has no agenda. It's here because it wants to know itself, because it wants to experience itself. Why? Because that feels good. That's it. It has a desire. It's a pure desire. This is all the result of that desire. It's not justifying. It's not explaining it. I want it because I want it. That's it. And because wanting it feels good. And this ain't it. What's right with the 10 of... I'm not pulling this reading. These are not... I don't know what kind of energy is fucking here right now. What I want is this. What I want is, I'm seeing that this is not this. This was all fine. This was all, I thought it was victory. It seemed great. I convinced myself real well that this was it until feminine energy, something else came along and just ripped the blindfold off, knocked all the walls down, showed me I was living a small sheltered existence. I was the smallest version of myself that I could be. Really just a shell. Just the shell that I had let society mold me into in filling the boxes of others. In checking the boxes for other people. I became this very limited version of being. And now I see it. And now I'm not satisfied. And I'm a little pissed about it. Oh yeah, there's resentment here towards the Empress energy. I'm speaking in broad terms. There's resentment towards the attraction. Again, because there's the shame in the attraction, there's denial of it. And it messes everything up. It messes up the neat little cookie cutter, picture perfect life. where everything was just so, because that's how the emperor likes it. It's just so. It all makes sense. It's all very logical. It's all very clean cut and clear and concise. There's nothing messy. There's nothing left to chance. There's nothing uncertain. It's just, this is how it is. And I have this control, and I feel safe here in this little box. And the Empress just knocks the walls down on that box and says, look at all of this. There's a whole world out here, full of richness, full of life, that you have not explored, that you have not allowed yourself even to dream of. There's been a new beginning trying to take place for a long time. It is something about, too, the almighty pinnacle. Placing so much importance, thinking there was victory in this stuff. If I just have this thing, if I have this trophy person, this house, this car, this job, if I just have this, I'm set, I'm good. And as long as I have this, I'm good. And if I don't have this, I'm not good. And now they want something, there's an energy of really, really wanting something that's not this. And if it's not this, then I'm so used to investing my stability and wellness, identifying it with the presence of this. But now I don't want this, I want to move away from this. And there's this feeling of just losing all sense of self, losing identity, and to ego that's very scary, because it is the false self, and it has falsely identified with some limited form that now is desiring to change, as all form does. It wants to evolve. It is inherently unstable. It does not last. This form is trying to evolve. It's trying to change shape. And the ego can't understand why, because the ego misunderstands its own self. It misunderstands the nature of desire, the nature of happiness, because it derives it from that which is outside of itself rather than within. It doesn't understand that desire and love and passion and stability all are inherent, intrinsic. They come from within. They are derived from your source, yourself, and your being present in and as that. This is heavy, man. Misunderstanding control, anything. The ego thinks that there is satisfaction in control. There is no satisfaction in control. There is imprisonment. There is stagnancy. There is smallness in control. Anything that you are trying to control, first of all, control itself is an illusion. Anything you believe you have control over, you don't. However, in your belief that you have control over something and you're attempting to exert and exact that control, you are just giving that thing control over you. Anything you believe to possess possesses you. And especially when you are identified, when your sense of self is wrapped up in this idea of possessing, then you're taken by it. And if that thing is called into question, your entire self is called into question. Your whole sense of self is threatened. If you are identified with your true self, the thing can come and the thing can go. There can be form there that you appreciate for what it is. But when it moves, when it changes, and it inevitably will, you are not threatened by it. It is no threat to you, because it does not change you. Because you are not confused about who and what you are. you have not mistakenly invested in and identified yourself with this form. Tell me about the Six of Cups. That Queen of Wands comes with it. I'm going all the way with this. I was not expecting this. I never am expecting anything. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. There's no expectation. Just let it be what it is. Expect it to be an adventure. Expect it to surprise you. Expect to feel desire and enjoy that. Expect to learn things. Expect to experience some contrast. Expect that it's all working out exactly the way it should be. And add no details on top of that. Eight of Cups. And I had a card that jumped out. What is it? Queen of Swords. It landed reversed. It's the truth that's trying to be repressed. I'm drawn just to the bird. The one bird. The lone bird in the sky. There is one singular specific truth here that has to do with this ain't it, the life we have surrounded ourselves with, some belief, some way of being that we invested in, and because of its presence there we felt stable, and calling that presence into question, moving away from that, feels unstable and that feels scary, but remaining attached to it is just small and unhappy. And it's time to walk away from it and walk towards the thing that is compelling, the thing that we have this deep connection to. It's also walking away from the past in a big way, walking away from this idea of past, which doesn't exist. Who you are is eternal. You are not a past identity, and you are not a future identity. All of that is ego and form. Who you are is eternal and continuously growing, evolving, shifting, expanding. There is a releasing of a past way of being, a past identity, a past belief, pattern of belief, which is just a pattern of thought. And yeah, ego can feel very afraid of that. It feels like a part of it is dying. It does. Let it die. Let it feel that way. Again, it only feels that way because of ego's confusion. It's delusion over what self actually is. It's a false self that is dying. It's like a role. It's like if you were an actor, and in many regards you are, and you were playing a role, and that character died in the script, and you felt like you died because you had mistakenly personalized that role. But now it's time for you to take a new role. You have a new role to play. You're moving on. That character gets written off the show. You already have another script you're working on. There's already another show where you're playing a new character. You're playing somebody else. Maybe you're in a movie now. Maybe you're making the big bucks. But because of your attachment to this previous role, which is coming to its natural conclusion, it's preventing the coming in, the starting of the new role, of your new starring role. Mega blockbuster. I mean, something really good. And something that you want. You want to be in that movie. Yeah, you want to get paid millions of dollars for this. You want to be this, whatever, poster boy action hero, gonna do the tour circuit and walk the red carpet and all of this stuff. And you started on daytime soaps. I mean, yeah, that's what you want. But there's this overvaluing, over-personalization and identification with the past role. And the questioning of, well, who am I if I'm not that role? You're the next... Well, really, you're the one who played the role. That's what you are. You're not the next role. You're the one who plays the roles. But there's a next role waiting. There's a next form for that to flow into. You are the eternal presence, the eternal being, the consciousness that is continuously flowing into forms and out of that one and into another one. And it happens literally every second. and just allowing that to happen, letting that change take place, letting the new present itself to you and engaging with that. Now this is what we do now. We did that for some time and now we're doing this. That's it. It's not a big deal. What's right with the Eight of Cups? Page of Cups. Yeah, there is a desire for new. Yeah, it's new love. It is following that new attraction. It's following that new fancy. And letting that be pure. Letting it just be what it is. This is the direction we feel an attraction towards now. And so we walk away from the old and towards what's new. What's right with this wonky Queen of Swords? The destiny. Desired manifestation. It's the star. I mean, come on. It's new. It's the next thing. It's the thing you called in. You called this thing into being, so now you go towards this thing. And that means, yes, it means walking away from the other thing. But this is how it works. Hoi, gefilte fish. You manifest something out of a desire, even when that desire was repressed. Again, because the universe doesn't listen to your words. The universe isn't listening to your ego going, no, 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 I don't feel that. The universe hears, feel that. Feel that. I feel that. And it responds only to the desire. And then it tries to bring you that desire. It flows around your resistance. And then the desire gets there and you go, oh my God, it's exactly what I want, but I can't want that. Because no, 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 I don't want that. And the universe just keeps hearing, want that. Want that. The more you push against it too, the more it's brought to you. Oh, it's wild. It's like a yo-yo. The more you try to throw it away, the harder you throw it, the more it just creates this backspin and it zips right back up. I don't think I have anything else here. I mean, this is pretty clear. And again, this is not what I intended. I was not looking to pull on any kind of whatever soulmate energy. This is just masculine energy right now. And it applies across the board. I am not limiting this to some runner chaser bullshit, some soulmate cycle, whatever. This is what masculine energy is experiencing. Ego energy. It wants something new. It wants the Empress. It wants the soul. It wants the feminine. It sees the feminine energy, however it's encountered it, whether it's just something it's experienced within or a demonstration it's witnessed. It doesn't matter. And it wants that. And that means it has to leave behind its old way of being. And it can't deny that it wants it. It's afraid. It's afraid because it's been wrapped up in that old way of being. Again, overvaluing, misidentifying it as the self. Now it's seeing there's more. There's other. There's something else. There's more out there. There are other ways. There is another way. And it's a better feeling way. It's a way we want to go check out. Go check that stuff out. Go. You see this across the way? And I mean, yeah, I'd be looking around too, going, is there anybody else here? Does she know she's naked at this lake? She's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna just go see what that is. Because I want to. I don't know. I want to know about this. I want to tell me more about this. Just go check it out. Yeah. Just go say hi. I mean, if nothing else, see where it leads. Hi. You look good. I appreciate that you are here doing this. I know it's not for me. I just appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. What's going on? You want to sit down and have a chat? I mean, it's just that. Just go see. Just go see. I don't know. Is there anything else? Anything else you want to say, universe? And then I'm just gonna then I'm just gonna. That's it. Anything else you want to say? Other than just go check that stuff out. And again, it's all kinds of stuff. And the point is, you just check it out. You don't have to immediately attach yourself to it or commit to it or whatever. It's just go check it out. Just go see what's over there. That's it. That's it. It looks good. Go see. Go find out. Yeah, it's something that was asked for. And the emotions are they're not quiet. We've been sitting quiet, but the emotions are not quieting down. And the more we try to silence them, the louder they get, actually. It's on top. 6 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Again, can't distract ourselves from this. The more we try to shut this down, the louder it gets. It's not working. What we really want is to work towards this, is to move towards this. And everything that we think all of the effort we think we've been putting in to shut this down has just been adding to this. Actually, it's just the whole time. That's what's been happening. The further you try to run from something, the closer it gets. What's with the 6 of Pentacles? She came right back. Opened the reading, closed the reading. The Queen of Wands, who is stubbornly trying to deny that she wants to give to something else, but she can't deny the way it feels. She caught feelings. I'll put it that way. The Queen of Wands caught feelings. The Wands couple are the couple who love them and leave them, right? It's yeah, you know, I can get anybody, this and that, I'm hot shit. They can talk circles around you. They'll talk to everybody in the room and make them all believe, you know, their shit don't stink. That's what they're used to. But this time, they fucked around and fell in love. There's emotion here. Oh yeah, there's that devil underneath, and there's the 2 of Pentacles. There's that frustration energy. But why? But why? Why does this? And it's an obsession. This is obsession. Absolute. Just circles, circles, circles. Can't figure it out. Continuously going through the same process over and over again, but it doesn't make sense. But I've never whatever this before, but this, that, and whatever. But I got all this stuff. I got all these people who like me. I could bang anybody I want. Why is it that I want this person so much? Why? Can't look away from it. Cannot look away from it. Trying to, can't. And it's coming to a head. I was gonna say it's about to break. It's about to break. Because it's just untenable. And this attraction, this desire, whatever it is undeniable. Undeniable. It's the real feel good. The real feel good. The real feels. It is, and a lot of it has to do with the realization I've never felt this much before. And what does that mean? Whether or not it means I go towards the thing that I feel this much for, it means all of this stuff around me, I have to acknowledge, I have to admit, I don't feel this way towards. That's the big issue here, is I feel this way towards this. And what that means on the flip side is I don't have those feelings in this environment, in this life that I have built for myself. It's not actually what I want. There's more. I didn't know I could feel this strongly. I didn't know I could feel this much love, this much attraction, this deep, this transcendent sort of desire. And every other desire I've been able to sort of push away because it didn't fit my life, and that satisfied me. It doesn't satisfy me to push it away. I can't push it away. It's too much. It is too strong. It needs to resolve. Yeah. And there's the angel energy. Under that Six of Wands is that pushing away. Trying to push away angel energy. Trying to push away something that feels so good. Yeah, can't do it. I've been trying to walk away from the good feeling because I couldn't make logical sense of it, even though it made emotional sense. I've been trying to ignore that and hold on to what I had. It's not working. It's not working. The tighter I try to hold on to it, the more powerfully I feel it, the more it's just making me look at it. Now, I can't look away. I can't deny this. It's driving me crazy. Action needs to be taken here. I don't know what the hell this is. This just came out and I expressed it because it was driving me batshit crazy, feeling it. And I wanted to just honor it and be present with it. And I'm satisfied with myself for having done that as well. But fuck, this was way more than I anticipated. And that movement of Mercury into Virgo, I think Mars, I don't remember, it's either in or it soon moves into Virgo. There's something about that, but it's just like, yeah, there needs to be action here. This ain't doing it anymore. It's not cutting it. There is a drive to move, an urgency, because this has gotten so toxic, absolutely toxic. It's contaminating everything. There is an obsession with needing to let this flow. And it's unstoppable. Again, what specific action does that potentially result in? Number one, I can't say. Number two, it doesn't matter. It does involve specifically acknowledging this shit ain't it. Whether or not I go towards the shit that I think was it, or something else that it showed me that is similar. The point is walking away from the shit that it ain't. And that can only happen when we acknowledge that within ourselves. And that acknowledgement, that epiphany, that truth and understanding comes from acknowledging the desire. Feeling this desire has clarified this contrast for me. I could ignore this contrast until I felt really the contrast to the contrast, which was the desire. Now I have clarity. Now I know what I don't want, and that's all of this. Because I know what I feel a lot of want for that. So that's it. That's the reading. I'm closing it here. I'm done. I feel better. That's all that matters, is that I feel better. I feel gooder. This is all for me. It is extremely, exorbitantly, abundantly selfish. Because that's the point, is for me to have a desire and follow it. And that's all it needs to be. It's purely selfish. It is self-expression for self-expression's sake, and desiring for the deliciousness of the desire. So that's all I got. This resonated through me. It resonates with me. I mean, I get it. I definitely get it. But this one was a lot bigger. So I'm really curious to know who this was for or relates to. Maybe it's just information for you. You know, whatever. Maybe it's just fun for me. That's fine too. That's all it ever needs to be. It does not ever need to be anything more than that. But I am curious. I intend that this resonates for somebody, and I would love to know. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you feel so inclined. But either way, welcome to this episode of the soap opera, because that's what this felt like. So I hope there was some entertainment value here. I certainly enjoyed it. Have a fantastic, it's a beautiful evening. And yeah, just take it easy. Let your desires be pure. Let them just be what they are. There's no justification required. Source isn't asking you to justify them. Source is thrilled in them. They're Source's desires. Yeah, that's what that is. Source wants to bang that person. I'm fucking going there. Why? Because why not? Because why not? If it's a pure desire, if it has nothing to do with ego, and even then, if it's done from an aware standpoint, you're good. Let nothing be judged. If there is judgment of a thing, that is ego, and have awareness of it. So, that's it. Let your desires be pure. Let them delight you. And the universe will support that at every turn. Have a fantastic evening, beautiful collective. And know that no matter what, I absolutely appreciate, value, love, and respect you. Have a beautiful day.